Hi, welcome to Stitchity Doodle. It's Gayle and
Miko,
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.
Sorry we've been MIA for over a month now, but we are back and we are here to play a lot of catch up. So that means I've got lots of whips and lots of finished objects to share with you. But just a disclaimer, I do have some Christmas things in this podcast because that's what I was working on last month. But if you would like to skip around, I will provide timestamps down below in the description box. You can just simply click on the timestamp and you can skip past to that section. So let's get started. My first whip is a Christmas mini amigurumi advent by Erica of Five Little Monsters. I was inspired by Ella of No Catchy Name. In one of her episodes, she was sharing all of her makes during the month of November because I believe that's when the Advent first came out. However, I decided to do the Advent during the month of December as my Christmas Advent calendar. Before I got started on my Advent, I decided to work off of a color palette. Now, this is not my idea. I actually got inspired by Ilaria Caliri of Irali Designs and Irina of Irene Strange, and they are two prominent amigurumi designers that you can find on Instagram, and I will have everything linked down below. But they have collaborated together and they have an Etsy shop called AmigurumiAdventures. And in there, you will find their entire collection of amigurumi crochet alongs. Now, they have three categories. The first category is for Christmas and it's called Amigurumi Advent. The second one is their Halloween collection and it is called School of Magic. And the third one is a spring one. I'm not sure what it's called, spring something or other. I don't know. But I believe that's fairly new. The latest one compared to the other two. They've been around for quite a few years now. I believe 4 or 5 years worth of crochet alongs. You should go check them out. I think it's just amazing. Now, I say I was inspired by them because in these crochet alongs, they usually start off with a color palette and they use that as a jumping point to make their amigurumis. And after all of their amigurumis are done, you can see their entire collection and all of the colors are just coordinated and it's just amazing. When you look at it all together, it looks cohesive, coordinated, and they just look like they belong together. And that's what I loved. And so that's what I wanted to do with my own amigurumi Advent collection. And I actually used one of their color palettes. I found it in the Amigurumi Advent 2020, and I will have it here. Now, in this color palette, you will see a lot of primary colors, but they're kind of like, when you see them together, they kind of look like nostalgic, vintage, Christmassy vibe. At least that's what I see when I look at that color palette. And that's what I wanted for my collection. And so in my Advent, I'm using Hobby Lobby's I Love This Cotton. And I chose the colors as best I could to match this color palette. Now, day one is a Christmas tree. And here's my Christmas tree. And all of Erica's designs and pictures I will post here so that you can see what the original design is supposed to look like. But this is my Christmas tree. And as you'll notice, a lot of Erica's amigurumis will have kawaii eyes, but I decided not to put kawaii faces on mine because my idea was I wanted to embellish mine just a little bit further or a little bit differently so that it has a little bit of a personal touch on my end. And my idea for this Christmas tree was to either glue on or stitch on miniature buttons to represent ornaments. Now, I didn't have the time to do that. I just formulate ideas in my head of what I want to do to embellish mine further. But I hope to finish my ideas and do them a little bit later. Hopefully by the end of this year, the whole collection will be complete and embellished exactly like how I envisioned. So this is day 1. Now day 2 is a snowman, and this is my snowman. Now if you'll notice, Erica's snowman is a little bit different from mine. I decided to uh, do my arms a little bit different. First of all, it's not crocheted and it's not white. In my version, I wanted it to look more like branches, so I decided to use brown chenille pipe cleaners. And then I gave him some coal buttons by stitching on with yarn, what is it called? French knots for his coal buttons. And then for his nose, I didn't crochet it because I don't typically enjoy crocheting tiny little itty bitty parts. So I decided to just embroider his nose on. Also for his scarf, I just did a plain chain, however long that it ended up being to fit my snowman, because I wanted it skinnier than Erica's version. But other than that, I followed her pattern and it came out super cute. Day 3 is a Christmas cookie. Now this is how mine's turned out. And if you'll notice, Erica used different colors for her Christmas cookie, but I decided I wanted to do just plain red because my embellishment for this cookie would be to attach like clear beads just to give it a little bit of a sparkle, because I wanted it to represent, you know, the chunky sugar that you can find on cupcakes and cookies sometimes. So that's what I envisioned to embellish this further. This is what my cookie came out looking like. Super cute. Day 4 is a Christmas angel. Now this is what my Christmas angel looks like, and it looks exactly like Erica's here. But I wanted to embellish mine a little bit further by inserting a wire, either a silver or a white wire, to stick in the back of her head, sticking straight up, and then making like a circle to represent her halo. So that's something that I would like to do later on in the future. And if you'll notice, none of my characters have mouths like how Erica has in hers. I think it was just plain laziness. Day 5 is a teddy bear, and I think it's so cute. This is like a classic toy that you would find for Christmas, and I just think that this would look so adorable on a Christmas tree. Super cute. And I managed to find a tiny little safety nose in my collection, so I was super happy. And for this, I did not do anything different. It looks just like Erica's, as you can tell. But I think to embellish this further, I might glue on or stitch on just a tiny little patch of cotton fabric where it's frayed on the sides and edges to give it like that little torn up look, like he's got a little patch somewhere, like he's broken and I patched him up kind of thing. So I thought that was a cute idea to embellish him further. Day 6 is a hot chocolate, and this is how mine's turn out, and here's Erica's. And I did it exactly like how she made, except again, no kawaii face, because I wanted to embroider a simple design, like maybe a snowflake on mine. So that's how it turned out. Super cute. Now, Miko just asked me, do the viewers know what kawaii means? And I said, yeah, I think so. So let me just pause and mention that kawaii is a Japanese word and it means cute, if you didn't know. And it's a stylistic style of making something cute by putting two plain dots and then a simple smiley face. Usually it's like, here's, for instance, here's the eyes, and then the smile is usually somewhere in between the eyes, like right here.
Right in between.
Well, you can tell by Erica's face. That's typical traditional kawaii face. And they have all different versions of it, but yeah, this is the typical style. Now, day 7 is a Christmas ornament. And as you can tell, mine's is very different. I wanted it to be a little more ornate because I thought that it would look more vintagey. So I gave it a simple stripe. And here's my color change. And there's the jog between the rows, and some dots. I guess I could have made it flat by putting felt, but I wasn't about to cut small little circles. So I did the French knots again, and that was easier and quicker. But I love the way that it came out. Now, day 8 is a ballerina, and here's how mine came out. I followed Erica's pattern to the T. I didn't embellish any further, and I don't know how else to embellish her. I think I'm just gonna keep her the same. Because the characters, all of her characters are very detailed. I mean, I don't think they really need anything further. Day 9 is a penguin, and this is how mine's turned out. I followed Erica's pattern, no further embellishments, but I will tell you that if you go to Erica's website and you click on the link to follow the penguin pattern, it will bring you to her Pinterest. It will bring you to a Pinterest, the Pinterest website, and then in there you'll have to click on her website name in order to bring you back to the actual pattern. So just be aware of that. But yeah, this is my penguin. I don't know how else I would embellish him further. I don't know if I will. I think he's super cute. Again, the character ones are pretty detailed that they may not need anything. Although you will see one of them is pretty decked out. Day 10 is a gnome. Now, this is my very first gnome I've ever made. I'm not much of a gnome person, but I do think that they are cute now that I see him in my hands. So here's Erica's picture, and as you can tell, my beard is crooked. My beard is crooked, and I'm not sure what was going on that day. I did not have any eggnog. I wasn't drinking. I don't know what's going on here, but this is how my gnome came out, and I still think that he's super stinking cute. Day 11 is a boy elf, and this is how mine's turned out, and here's Erica's version. And I followed him to the T, but I did tack down his tip of the elf hat and gave him a little bit of jingle bell. And a family member made this because he thought that he would look super cute, and I think he was right. Isn't that so cute? Just a little tiny embellishment adds so much. Day 12 is a reindeer, and this is about the time when I started falling behind on my Advent. As you can tell, he is a whip and he's not looking very
so
well. He's missing some parts, and yeah, so this is as far as I got on my reindeer, but I think he's still looking super cute so far. And once he's done, he's gonna look fabulous.
He's just growing out his hair right now.
Yeah, dreads maybe. I don't know. Dreads on a reindeer. Can you imagine? I don't think I'd embellish him any further. He's a character, and so he's got lots of parts, lots of details, and I think he will look super cute in the end. He already looks super cute.
Yeah, with his Rapunzel hair.
Day 13 is a bell. Very simple, very classic. Now, these amigurumis were very quick. I don't know how I would embellish this, but Nico had an idea and a suggestion to embellish it with some holly leaves and berries, and I thought that was a great idea. It would give it a pop of color since I don't have the kawaii face like Erica's does. I think that'll look super cute and traditional and vintagey looking. So I think I might do maybe some pom-poms, tiny pom-poms if I can find them, and maybe some green leafy felt cut by hand. So that would be my idea, or Nico's idea. Day 14 is a girl elf, and I will have Erica's picture up here. Now, as I said, I fell behind and I don't have anything to show you. I haven't started it, but she is looking super cute, and I cannot wait to get this collection done. Maybe I can do one every month and hopefully get the entire collection done by the end of the year. We'll see. I mean, I make all these plans, but my UFOs are still way behind. I haven't finished that last year like I hoped to, but this is a new year, a new fresh start, so we'll see. You don't know what's going to happen. Day 15 is a classic Christmas light. This reminds me of the old vintage Christmas bulbs. I guess they have it even today, but it's more retro, old but new. And I think it looks great just plain because this is what I think of when I think of the classic vintage Christmas bulbs. I don't think I would embellish it any further. Just keep it as is. But I do love the color combination. It gives it that vintage vibe, I think. Day 16 is a mouse. Now, he is super cute. I would love to make him. There are a lot of parts, so it does take a while, and with the holidays and everything that was going on last month, it was hard for me to keep up, and so I wasn't able to do any more of the characters for the rest of the Advent, but I will have the pictures up here. And her mouse looks super cute, and I don't have a safety nose that tiny, so I may have to embroider it. I don't think I would embellish it any further. All of the characters, I probably keep it as is. Day 17 is a Christmas star. And a star, as plain as it might be, is iconic. I don't think that I would embellish it any further. I think it looks cute just as is. I think if I were to embellish it any further, it might just kind of detract from the star, I think. Day 18 is a gingerbread boy or gingerbread man, and he's super cute. Again, I would not embellish him any further. I love his frosting hair and his bow tie. Actually, if I wanted to change things up, maybe for the bow tie, I might get one of those pre-made store-bought bows that you can find in a packet. Sometimes I'll see them at Hobby Lobby or Joann's. So for a little bit of mixed media, I might do that. Day 19 is a vintage style ornament, and I'll have Erica's picture here. Now, even though if this is a quick and simple ornament to make, I did not have time to do it, so I will have Erica's picture here. Now, this is quick and easy, I'm sure, because there's no parts to, attach or anything. But I think I'd follow it to the T. If I were to embellish it, I think maybe I'd add a little dangle towards the end. Maybe. I don't know. I might just keep it as is. Day 20 is a nutcracker. And again, I don't have mine, but this is Erica's version, and he looks super duper cute. Again, highly embellished. Nothing needs to be added. I think I'm just going to make him as is. I have a thing for toy soldiers and nutcrackers. I think they're just so festive for the holidays. Day 21 is a gift box. And I did manage to make one of my own. Now, here's my version, and here's Erica's version. And there's a story behind this. So I wanted to glue this down just so that it's not, flopping around in storage or anything. And I was using pins to pin them down. So I would take these little pins here, and I would stick them in to kind of hold them in place and then glue them. But as I was doing that, I came across, can you hear that? I'm hitting something hard in here. I came across a foreign object inside of my gift box, and I thought, oh no, is there a pin in here? But then I realized I used stitch markers while I was making this, and I think there's a stitch marker in here. I've been using gummy bear stitch markers, so I think there's a gummy bear stitch marker in here. It'll be a present inside this gift box. How appropriate is that? So whoever ends up opening this in the long future ahead will find a treasure within this box. Day 22 is Santa's bag, and this is my version, and here's Erica's version. And to make mine a little bit different, I used baker's twine. I thought it added a little bit of extra pop because it has that little bit of striping in there. I thought it added a little bit of interest. And I don't think I changed anything else. I think I'll just keep it as is. We're nearing the end, folks. This is day 23, and it is Mrs. Claus. And here's Erica's Mrs. Claus. She looks super cute. If I were to embellish her any further, if I can manage to find a tiny little miniature, what is that? A rolling pin, like what bakers use when they bake. I'd try and glue that onto one of her arms, or her hands, I should say. And if not, maybe make a polymer clay version of it. That'd be super cute. But if not, she's just fancy enough as she is because she's got all kinds of details. Erica's really great about adding details to all of her characters. I love her patterns. And last but not least, day 24 is Santa the man himself. And here he is in all his glory. And I don't think that I would embellish him any further. Maybe for the end of his cap, I would use maybe a pom-pom instead of crocheting it, just to give it a little bit of different texture other than just all yarn, because I like that look of different mediums being used in my amigurumi. I think it gives it a little bit of elevated look, in my opinion. So that is Erica's mini amigurumi advent, and that is all that I've made. I do have more WIPs, so stay tuned. My next WIP is Boba the Bear by Emmy Creations by Chloe. And this is a picture by Chloe. And this is what my Boba the Bear is looking like so far. And this is the Boba cup. And this is my bear. Now, I don't have my Bobas just yet, but I do have my cup assembled. And if you notice, she has a lining and it's different from the outside. And I love the construction of how she designed this cup. I love that it's short and stout, super cute, and it gives it some stability as well. I used Premier Basics, which is a 4-weight yarn, and it's on the thicker side of a 4-weight, and it's also one of those stiffer yarns, kind of like similar to Red Heart Super Saver. So it does hold its shape really, really well. But this is what mine is looking like. Super cute. And then the Boba bear sits inside. And when it sits inside, his head's going to stick out. So for my straw, I think I'm going to give him a pop of color, like maybe some kind of blue or something to look, stand out and stuff. And this is supposed to be like taro boba. Miko and I are big boba addicts.
Big is can't describe how much we love Boba.
Yes, we love Boba. And I have some bare parts like ears and snouts. Snout. Just one snout.
Snout.
My next whip is an Easter Peep. And those are those marshmallow treats that you get and you see in Easter baskets and on the Easter shelves at the stores. And I tried looking on Etsy to find a pattern that I liked, but I didn't quite like the shapes of them. So the typical ones have round bottoms, and I didn't like that because, peeps are kind of flat. When you look at it on the side, it's a little bit flat. So I decided to create my own pattern. I wanted to challenge myself and see if I could, and I did. And I'm super excited with how it came out. And this is what my Peep came out looking like. And I've used velvet yarn for scrunchies. I've made some for Miko in the past because she requested them, but I've never made them on Amigurumi, and I love the way it feels. It's so soft and it is squishy, and that seems to be the trend nowadays. Either using blanket yarn or chenille yarn or velvet yarn. So I think I may be making more Amigurumi with this velvet yarn. And so what I'm talking about, it's flat. Usually the ones that you'll see on Etsy, at least the ones that I found, have a round bottom and like a sphere, like typical amigurumi style, but I didn't like that. I wanted it flat. And so my construction is based off of a chain construction to make it flat, like how I wanted it. And mine's is not as tall as a normal Peep. I like short and stout, and I super love the way that it came out. And I made little ones. So this is made with 4-weight yarn, Premier Basics, and I have a whole family of them. Look at them, so cute.
They keep multiplying. I walked in one day and they were just spread out, all of them.
Oh, excuse my tummy if you can hear that roar. And then I have Papa Peep in the works. I used one skein of this. I will have all the yarn information, hook sizes down below. I can't think of it right off the top of my head, but this was using one skein, and then I had leftover, and I started on the second one to see how far I could get. And this is all of one skein. So I had to purchase another one to finish this off. So hopefully I will have 3 out of 2 skeins of yarn. And this skein I got from Hobby Lobby. Now, if you are interested in the pattern, I am willing to work on the pattern and possibly do a online tutorial here on YouTube. If you are interested, just let me know down below in the comment section. And if there's enough interest, I may do that. My next whip is a conversation heart because I was like working on the Peeps, and then I was like, well, what about Valentine's?
Mind you, she started this in December. It was like pretty beginning of December, and she was skipping way ahead.
I was trying to think ahead. to Miko, it was way too far ahead. But I was thinking of Valentine's, and so I found this pattern, and it's by Chi Wei from One Dog Wolf, and here's her version. And I love the way that it came out. I didn't get around to embroidering mines with the sentiment, but I will hopefully one day.
Maybe
before
during
Valentine's. But I love the way that it came out, and the size of it is super cute. Now this is Premier Basics, weight 4, and this is the size it came out. Super cute, super fast, and easy construction. I love One Dog Wolf patterns. My next whip is an amigurumi doll. Now I've made a brown doll before, but I've been wanting to make more. And I've been watching Yolanda, and she just came out with a new tutorial on her YouTube channel, and I will have everything linked down below. Yolanda is the author of the bestseller book called My Pretty Brown Doll, and you can find her book on Amazon. But she just came out with a tutorial on her channel where you can follow one of her patterns. And I don't own her book, so I thought I'd try and follow one of her tutorials to see if I'll like her pattern. But this is what I have so far, and I modified her pattern so that I could have my doll sit. And so I modified it here at the hips. Also, I changed her. I modified the pattern so that her arms are crocheted in differently than how she assembles it. And because of the way I like to construct my dolls, I try to work it in one piece. This is how it's looking so far. And as you can tell, I reinforce my doll heads with a, what do you call this? Glue stick. Instead of Yolanda's preference. I think she uses a dowel, I believe, but I feel more comfortable using a glue stick. This is how it's turning out, and this is what is that new yarn that I just got? This is Big Twist Living. This is an anti-pilling acrylic yarn by Joann's, and this is Lion brand skein tones. Now, if you are interested in any of the color choices that I've used in any of my projects in this video, please ask down below in the comment section. I omitted that information, like I normally provide it, but I omitted it because of time constraints, because I'm expecting this video to be very long considering the amount of information that I have to share with you. But this is how my pretty brown doll is looking so far. I'm not sure how I like the proportions of my doll with my modifications, but I think I'm gonna just continue on and see how it goes. I'm really interested in looking at Yolanda's book for her hairstyles for her dolls. That's really what I'm interested in getting her book for, because I'm always on the lookout for different ways on how to do amigurumi doll hairs. My next whip is a little different. Now, you would have seen, if you watched my first episode, you will have seen a cloth doll. And that was my very first attempt at a cloth doll. And I named my channel Stitchity-Doo Doll on purpose so that it would leave it wide open where I could make cloth dolls. That was my intention. I wanted this channel to be about amigurumi dolls and eventually cloth dolls, because that's what I want to get into. My next whip is a pattern designed by Sarah from Dolls and Daydreams, and this is what my doll is looking like so far. Now, her hair is made out of fleece, and her skin is made out of cotton, just plain cotton fabric. Her clothing is also from plain cotton fabric, and then her shoes is fleece again, same fabric that I used for her hair. And I'm not sure if you can tell with the lighting or anything, but I had embroidered her hair, so you can see a little bit of contouring. Oh, there, yeah, so there. I embroidered her hair on my sewing machine with the special stitching. So I'm super excited to get into cloth doll making. I find them very like nostalgic for me. I remember my mom, she had these old C&H sugar hula cloth dolls, and it was just so super cute. I fell in love with it upon first sight, and from then on I've been wanting to try my hand at cloth doll making. So, and I also had a Raggedy Ann doll when I was little. So yeah, I've been wanting to make more cloth dolls. So hopefully you will see more of that on this channel. My last whip is a little different as well. And I'm not used to making blankets. The extent of my crochet blanket making is my lovies. And I do have some videos on that. And I will leave a card up here if you are interested. Um, but I have never made a full blown blanket. And I've been watching Sandra from Cherry Heart, and she just has a beautiful blog, beautiful website, and she also has a channel here on YouTube. And I will have everything linked down below as usual. But everything that she makes, she quilts and she crochets, and I believe she knits as well. I'm not quite sure. I'm not 100% sure. But everything she makes and she touches is just so beautiful. And she's been inspiring me to make a blanket. Um, and so I'm following one of her tutorials. It's a hexagon. Um, I think she made a pillowcase out of it, but I want to use her pattern to make a blanket out of it. So this is what my project is looking like so far. And they're hexagons. I don't know, for some reason, I'm so attracted to the hexagons lately. Every time I've been watching anybody make anything out of hexagons, it's just been attractive to me. So this is what it's looking so far. If I run out of steam and I don't want to make a blanket anymore, I may end up um, cutting it short and just turning it into, like, I don't know, a placemat or a table runner or something smaller, or maybe even a pillowcase like she did. But I would like to make a blanket ideally, and this yarn is Hobby Lobby's Baby Bee Sweet Delight. It's a 3-weight acrylic yarn, and this is the same kind of yarn that I use for some of my clothing for my amigurumi dolls. I love the feel of it, and I love the drape of it, especially when I use a larger hook size for it. And so I thought it would be a great yarn to use for my blanket. I think it'll turn out really cute if I can manage to finish it off. But it lives in this project bag and that I made myself. And here's the rest of the parts. I have another skein or two of plain yarn, solid yarns standing by to help fill in, because these colored ones are made from only one clearance yarn skein that I got from one of Hobby Lobby's clearance sales, and that's all I have. So whatever I have, I'm going to be mixing in with these solid color hexagons, but I'm hoping to have enough to make something substantial like a blanket, and if not, I'll just improvise. But I'm super excited to get this done if I can manage to. So that's the end of my whips. Now the rest of my video is on my finished objects, and my very first one is a baby unicorn, and this is her. Isn't she so adorable? I wanted to say cute, but adorable came out. um Now this pattern is by Valerie of Melialine on Etsy. I will have everything linked down below. And she turned out so super cute. You need to check out Valerie's Etsy shop. She has the most adorable patterns. They're all like this, just so cute. I bought, I think, maybe 3 of her patterns at once. It's so stinking cute. I don't normally gravitate towards small amigurumi like this, but when I started making mini amigurumis for Crystal at Chronically Crocheting, it kind of grew on me, so I don't mind as much anymore. But yeah, so I started buying, opening my eyes to smaller mini amigurumis, and this is so detailed, so cute. I love the way it came out, and I gave her some blushy cheeks. Yeah, I fell in love with Valerie's Etsy shop as soon as I laid eyes on it. I was like, I want to collect them all, basically. All of her patterns, I want to collect them all like they're Pokemon.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of them.
Now my next finished object is it is so stinking adorable. Now this is by the same designer, Valerie from, I just said it, Valerie of Melealine on Etsy. And this is another one of her patterns that I bought same time as the unicorn. And this is the bigger, so this pattern comes with a, a big sized octopus, and then an even smaller baby octopus. And look at this. This is it's a baby shark lovey for an octopus. How stinking adorable is that? Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, you have got to go over to Valerie's shop. And I am not sponsored by anyway. I just love her patterns. It's so stinking cute. I may end up donating this to my local charity. I just think it's so adorable. So stinking cute. And her eyes are embroidered, so I don't have to worry about, babies choking hazard or anything. I forgot to give her blush. She needs blush. It's so stinking cute. Now this pattern is called Delphine, the little baby octopus with shark blankie. I use Premier Basics for this and a 3.75 millimeter hook, but so stinking cute. Yeah, so this could be the mama octopus, and then if you make the smaller one, that could be the baby one with the baby lovey. But I thought that this would be cute, just this. So stinking cute. Check her out. I'm telling you, you got to check her out. My next finished object is because I wanted to start new family traditions in this family. There's 3 of us in this family. And I wanted to start making handmade ornaments for our Christmas tree every year, so that every year there would be a new addition. And we all love Stranger Things. We were big fans of Stranger Things.
Really
love
big.
it. Yes. We like every now and then I will be itching to watch.
You'll binge watch the whole thing over again.
Yeah, it's like my Harry Potter or my Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? I have certain movies and shows, and yeah, I do watch cartoons. I'm a little kid at heart, if you haven't noticed. But yeah, we are big fans of Stranger Things, and so we're going to come up with a theme every year for our handmade Christmas ornament. And because I crochet, of course, I'm going to make an amigurumi out of it. And I saw this pattern on Etsy, and it's a Dema Star. Now, this pattern is by Crochet by Ella A, and I will have her Etsy shop linked down below. But isn't it so cool? I mean, a Dema Star for Christmas, and a Demogorgon. I mean, how iconic is this for Stranger Things? I actually made 2. This one is made out of Hobby Lobby I Love This Cotton and a 3.5 millimeter hook. Super adorbs. My next finished object is a Yule log dog. Now, here's mine, and here's the designer's. And the designer is Stringy Ding Ding, and I got the idea to make this from, again, Ella from No Catchy Name. She showed this on her channel, and I was like, oh, I've got to have that in my life. So right away, I took out my yarn, and I got started on it and whipped it up before Christmas, and I stuck it in the tree. I just love Stringy Ding Ding patterns. It's just so cute. Her imagination is just so adorable. So this is, inanimate object like a Yule log. What is that? A roll cake and a dog together. I just love that combination. So stinking cute. Now this, I am trying to get rid of my Premier Basics yarn. This is why you'll hear me say that I use that yarn for a lot of my projects in this video. I'm trying to get rid of it so I can keep stock of my other yarns that I truly enjoy using. Not that there's anything wrong with the yarn. It's a fantastic yarn for amigurumi. I just don't particularly enjoy working with it because it's a little bit on the rougher side, and it's also a thicker weight yarn for weight. It's on the thicker side than I particularly like. And also, it does come with a plethora of colors. That's another plus for using this yarn for amigurumi. It comes with a ton of colors, which is why I bought it in the first place. But once I started working with it, I realized I don't particularly enjoy working with it. And again, it's not to say that it's not good for amigurumi. It is fantastic for amigurumi if you don't mind the rougher feel, because I know that many of the amigurumi makers out there do use Red Heart Super Saver, and that is a rough yarn to use. So if you can withstand the rough texture, then you'll have no problem with Premier Basics. But I'm super happy with how he came out. My next finished object is a little different. Um, I'm actually cheating. So this this pattern came out of this book, and this is from my Christmas gifts from last year. And I saw this little guy and I wanted to get to work right away, and so I started whipping him up. And I will talk about this a little bit later in another episode. Hopefully, I will try and get to another video where I talk about all of my acquisitions from last month, because I do have a lot to share. I have a lot of craft related acquisitions from last month, and I would like to share them with you. But yeah, I started on this soon after I got it, and I made this guy. Isn't he so cute? Now, this yarn, I love this yarn. It's a 4-weight yarn from Hobby Lobby, but it's a discontinued yarn. And whatever I had, it was already used. Whatever I had left could only make the head and the body, and I ran out of yarn. So I tried looking in my stash for something to coordinate with it. And I wasn't quite sure how it was going to turn out, but I think it turned out really nice. Miko already knew. She was like, it's going to turn out fine. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know, like I had my reservations. But now seeing it all done, I'm super happy with how it came out. And I actually like the idea of changing it up with the arms and the other appendages being different from the body and the head. So I may end up doing that for the other cuddlers, or ragdolls is what it's called. So you don't stuff the body, it's actually flat. I think of it as kind of like a lovey, which is actually why I got it. I thought it was like a, a lovey style that I'm not used to. So I think I'm gonna donate this again to my local charity of choice. Um, this one does have safety eyes, but I think it'll be okay, because I do secure mines by melting the backs and everything. So super cute. I love the way that it came out. Oh, and this is Premier Basics. My next finished object is a little mini amigurumi. Now, this little guy I made from scratch, and I thought of making it because Miko and I were eating one evening. I had cooked it up, and I thought, oh, you know what? This is such a unique shape. I wonder if I can figure out how to make it myself. And I looked at patterns, and there are patterns available, but I didn't follow them. I wanted to challenge myself and see if I could figure it out for myself. And so I came up with this, and this is a pot sticker. I believe that's what Americans call them. In Japanese, it's called gyoza. In Korean, it's called mandu. And I'm not sure what
Has many names.
I'm not sure what the Chinese call it. I know that the Chinese have a different name, but yeah. So we were eating it one night, and I was like, I want to try and see if I can figure out how to make this. And I'm super happy with how it came out. It's super cute, super fun, and easy to make. And Miko loves
food
food.
amigurumi. That's
Yes, I never mentioned this before, but she does have an amigurumi book of her own. hmm And she has made some amigurumi. I've
I
never shown it.
crochet.
What?
I briefly crocheted.
I taught her how to crochet, and she loves working the magic circle more so than working uh, chain and working in rows back and forth, which is really weird because magic circle is, I think, more challenging than working in rows. But
I'm just weird overall, so it's kind of going with the flow.
But yeah, so if you are interested in a pattern like this, let me know. I'll see what I can do. But yeah, it's just simple, really quick and easy. Okay, last but not least, this is not amigurumi, but this is crochet related. And I made a ton of stitch markers because I wanted to make some for project bags that I've been making, and also just to have for my stash because I don't usually have stitch markers. I usually use the plastic ones, and they're not very fun or fancy. And I love when I see podcasters show their projects and then their little stitch marker is dangling, and I'm like, I wish I had something decorative like that. So and I used to make jewelry. I used to take classes on how to make jewelry. So I know how to make these, and they're super easy and quick. All you need is these lobster clasps. I use lobster clasps for mine. I know that some people like the ear loops, but I like the lobster clasp, and then these jump rings, and just some simple charms. And if you wanted to, you could make your own with polymer clay or any other medium. But I made a bunch of what do you call these? Gummy bears. And I made a whole bag full. So I bought a bunch of gummy bear charms and then the supplies, and I made
a bag
all of
full
it, a
minus
bag
one.
Full. So I'm super excited because I love these gummy bears. They're just so stinking cute. So I've been using them, as you can tell if you watched this whole video. I have one of them inadvertently stuck in one of my amigurumis for a gift for, later on.
Later on.
Another stitch marker is this. This is probably not the best to show you. There we go. And I have, again, a whole bag full. So different colors and everything. Super excited to put this on my project bags, or notions pouches, I should say. But yeah, I have been just cranking these out, let me tell you. And it was fun. I love doing this kind of work. And then I made some, I made some donuts. How cute is that? Look. Oh, all kinds. So super cute. And look, I just love the way that it dangles. That's what I love most about these.
Dangly charms.
I love the way it looks when you you hang it up in front of the camera and you tell the people all about it. It's just so super cute.
You tell the people.
And tell the people. And then I have some Christmas ones. Now these have little shakers in them. So if you look at it close, there's something inside here. See that? So I thought that was super cute. So I have Santa Claus and I have a whole bag full. But this one, I'm going to try and make this real quick. I have a little house and a snowman, snowflake, a stocking, mittens, a wreath, a reindeer, and Santa's toy sack. Santa's toy sack. There we go.
Santa's toy stack.
So if you've stuck around this far, thank you so much for being patient. This is what happens when you're MIA for over a month and you haven't stopped crafting and you've got a lot to show and a lot to say. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, all of that stuff. We really appreciate you. And I do hope to put out another video of my acquisitions and then another video for my goals for this year. I know I'm falling behind, but better late than never. If you liked anything in this video, if we made you smile or laugh, please hit that like button or even hit that subscribe button and show us some yarny love. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, have a fun, crafty week.
Bye.